Oleksiy Honcharuk, Prime Minister of Ukraine. Previously he was deputy to Andriy Bohdan, head of the Office of the President. Arsen Avakov, Minister of Internal Affairs of Ukraine. One of two members of the previous cabinet who remain in their posts. Arsen Avakov has been head of the Ministry of Internal Affairs since the winter of 2014. Oksana Markarova, Minister of Finance of Ukraine. She has held a similar position since last November in Groysman's government. Oleksiy Honcharuk, Minister of Energy and Ecology of Ukraine, 16th number on the parliamentary list of the Servant of the People. Prior to that, he was head of the Ukrainian Renewable Energy Association. Vadim Prystaiko, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine. In 2017, he became the head of the Ukrainian mission to NATO. He briefly served as deputy head of Zelensky's presidential office. Dmytro Kuleba, Vice Prime Minister of Ukraine for European and Euro-Atlantic integration. Since 2016, he has been the representative of Ukraine in the Council of Europe. Andriy Zahorodnyuk, Minister of Defense of Ukraine. Zahorodnyuk has diplomas from Oxford University in Law and Finance. Timofey Milovanov, Minister of Economic Development, Trade and Agriculture of Ukraine. He also remains the deputy head of the Council of the National Bank of Ukraine, the regulatory body of the National Bank. Mikhailo Fedorov, Vice Prime Minister of Ukraine and Minister of the Digital Transformation of Ukraine. The youngest minister in the history of Ukraine, he ran a digital marketing agency before joining Zelensky's presidential campaign as the head of digital operations. Vladislav Krikly, Minister of Infrastructure of Ukraine. From 2015, he headed the main service center of the Ministry of Internal Affairs and developed its network across Ukraine. Olena Babak, Minister of Community and Territorial Development. Babak is the only deputy of the previous convocation of the Verkhovna Rada who took office in the new government. Anna Novosad, Minister of Education and Science of Ukraine. One of the youngest ministers in the history of Ukraine, she just turned 29. Zorana Skaletska Chernenko, Minister of Healthcare of Ukraine. She is an expert of the so-called resuscitation package of reforms on medical reform. Volodymyr Bordyansky, Minister of Culture, Youth and Sports of Ukraine. He is an experienced media manager. In December 2018, he left his work in television. From the end of July 2019, he was a freelance advisor to Volodymyr Zelensky. Oksana Kolyada, Minister of Veterans Affairs, Temporarily Occupied Territories and IDPs of Ukraine. In March 2019, she was appointed deputy head of the newly created Ministry of Veterans Affairs. Yulia Sokolovska, Minister of Social Policy of Ukraine. Previously, she headed the Department on Strategic Planning and Coordination of the State Policy of the Secretariat of the Cabinet. Dmytro Dubilet, Minister of the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine. He was IT Director at Privatbank before its nationalization by the government. He is also a co-founder of Monobank, the first Ukrainian internet bank. Denis Maluska, Minister of Justice of Ukraine. He was a consultant of the World Bank and International Finance Corporation.